Summer Wells has been missing for 15 plus months. By all accounts, we know the exact same information on day one as we know today, with law enforcement insisting this is an active investigation and that the case is quote unquote not cold. It seems as there is little more to be done. This is how cases go cold. From everything I understand, it's not the amount of time that has passed that makes a case cold. It's the amount of information that investigators have to work with. The last time we heard from the lead investigator on the Summer Wells case, he was still chasing leads as they come in. What exactly does that mean? Barring some major break in the case, are investigators forced to be sitting on their hands? It's hard to blame law enforcement. It seems like they've been working behind the 8 ball the entire time. One thing I have confidence in, but no proof, is that Summer was missing for some time before 6:30 p.m. on June 15th, 2021. If Summer Wells had indeed wandered off or been abducted in the time frame told by her parents, surely law enforcement would have much more to work with. Ironically, on June 14th, 2022, a young man named Wyatt was playing in the sprinkler in his backyard at about 8 p.m. that evening. His mother noticed sometime later that he wasn't in the backyard anymore. He was without clothes, WFXRTV.com reported. Wyatt's mother called 911 a short time later, and the sheriff's department got to work. Search parties, K9 units, drones, the whole 9 yards. WFXRTV.com also reported that a 911 reverse phone call went out to about 400 homes in the area, asking the community to keep an eye out for Wyatt. 10 hours later, volunteers found Wyatt in a wooded area less than a mile from his home. When crews found Wyatt, he was hanging out with the family dog Whiskey and a neighbor's dog Hershey. They stayed with the boy all night to make sure he was okay. It's obvious in these cases that time is of the essence. Accuracy of information is just as vital. I believe both were lost in Summer Wells' case. By no means is that law enforcement's fault. Now, the wandering off theory doesn't make much sense. I believe that a barefoot little girl who weighs 40 pounds wouldn't make it so far, especially if she was only missing for the 10 minutes as Candace states. And say Summer was attacked by a bear or a wild animal. There would be something that would be found, you would think. I dismiss this theory. Law enforcement has not. If Summer was abducted by a stranger, according to the information given by the parents, this would be the scenario. Stranger abduction. Between 6 and 6:40 p.m., a stranger went up on a dead-end road with a colony of dogs who apparently wandered off that day. Most families are all home at that time of day. It would be close to dinner time. So from a risk standpoint, typically you would have a full house, 3 boys, 1 mom, possibly the dad, and a grandmother on the property. And without detection by 3 children or a mother, possibly a father, and a grandmother in the camper, without any inside information, the abductor would have to pick the room where Summer was in and bet on her being alone, and also bet on that door being unlocked. Impossible? No. Improbable? Yes. Talk about the stars aligning. I'm putting this at less than a 1% chance, and there's no science or mathematical equation behind this, just stating that it seems almost impossible. The time frame just doesn't allow for much of a chance. Here's where the percentages increase by a lot. Planned abduction. Here's the scenario. Between approximately 2:30 and 6:30, and that's the time unaccounted for, 4 hours, there are endless scenarios. Accident and cover-up. Once again, endless scenarios. 2:30 to 6:30, the time unaccounted for. Deliberate homicide, 4 hours of missing time. I have no percentages for these scenarios because the amount of time missing, the possibilities are truly endless. If Summer went missing even an hour before law enforcement was notified, they are already way behind the 8 ball. Imagine 3 to 4 hours, which is the way I'm leaning. Only because of what Don Wells said about law enforcement wiping the phones from 3:30 on. So I'm sitting in the 3-hour head start range. That's just the notification time. Add another hour or two to get a command center and search parties together. Summer could have been 90 miles away in any direction by that time, if not more. While law enforcement is going off the word of Candace Wells and Donald Wells, this is not the Wyatt situation. Has there ever been a situation like this? Not one shred of concrete evidence. None. 15 months later. How? If this isn't a cold case, it's lukewarm at best.